All right. Hey, hi. Here we go. What are we talking about? More money, more problems? No. More problems? More factors, more problems? Yes. So when I'm designing a shot, I want to have the least amount of factors in the shot. Okay, so let's talk about this shot. We're going to go into this little teepee here with this one ball. And there's a couple things. I'll come over here from this side. Okay, so we got thickness, right? Where it enters the pocket, thick or thin. If it enters the pocket thin, off this rail, it'll come more to this side of the teepee. Okay, as we hit the ball thicker, it starts creeping over this way. So if we had a natural rolling angle, let's look and see. Let's just go center ball. So I'm going to work through how I determine how to get into the teepee. And we're going to start with I'm always going to start with if I'm practicing and trying to solve a shot, I'll start with just hitting one in the center of the pocket, as close to the center as I can, with a high rolling ball, and find out where does a high rolling ball go. Okay, so we'll do that first. And then from there, I'm going to figure it out. So there's very low factors involved in the shot. I'm just pushing it through into the center of the pocket, and the ball's just rolling. There's no stun on it, no slide, no side spin, no nothing. It's the simplest sort of version of the shot. So let's hit it, kind of go in the middle. And then first I'd like to guess, where do I think it's going to go? I guess if I hit this, okay, now I don't know. I mean, I kind of guess, and if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think it's going to go towards the 2 here. Let's find out together. Okay, pretty close. Came out here. Okay, so we'll hit another one. Just see if we can recreate the shot. Find like a baseline. We're trying to hit it this simple as we can, right? So let's see. It's hit the 3, hit the 2, center ball, push, center, and hit it square in its face. Okay, that was just pretty center pocket. Now I'm going to go over and say, all right, what's a simple factor that I could pay attention to? Thickness, of course. Ha ha ha. I could hit it a little thicker. So we're going to brush it towards the thick side of the pocket. High ball, same thing, just thicker. Okay. One on the same path. Let's see. Hard for me to see exactly what's going on, but let me try it again. Try to brush that thing going in. Okay, see, when I go thicker, thick enough to miss it, it changes from this to this as I go thicker. So that's good to know, because it's not much, right? It doesn't change much. So, and the reason why it's good to know that thickness, basically, it's where I'm going to hit the 2 is basically, I'm going to hit it square. I maybe brush it on this side. I maybe brush it on that side, depending on the thin. Well, the thin might actually miss the 2 entirely, but I don't know that I can get it past the 2 that much if I hit it thick, like that. See? Oh, I just brush it on that side. I guess I'd have to make sure the 2's in the same spot, but that was pretty close. So then I noticed that when I hit a little thicker, I can get the cue ball to come over here, and the center's here, and it's about the right. And then let's hit it thin. I bet you thin I can miss the thing completely just because of this angle. Yeah. So it's because of the way it's entering the pocket. It's a little bit. What do you call it? I don't. It's hard to explain. Shoot. This is like one of those situations where I know what's going to happen, and it's hard to explain. I guess it would just have to do with how thin I can make it and still still make the ball, and how thick I can hit and still make the ball. I can't really change the thickness with the angle that we have. The thickness doesn't change because of the angle that it's at. So it's not like I can hit it very much more thick to where it's going to go still. like that. See, I can basically, well, I guess I can get it about the same. All right, so I think I can do more with the thin because this came here, and then we kind of have this range in here we could hit on different sides. Now let me see if I can hit about the same. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to work this through. So what I'm wondering is, can I hit this ball with it really thin? Sorry. Try not to cheat English here. No, I can't cheat it over that much. Okay, so cheat it over. You know how the range is probably here to here with thick and thin. So that's it. Who cares? Other than it's super important to know this. But the technicalities of why and things, I'm not super rabbit holed on that. I'm just was talking about it. Okay, so sorry. Like I said, no edits live, right? So basically we know that we have it here with a natural rolling ball, essentially. Here we can squeeze it with a little thickness and brush it, and here we can hit it thin in the pocket. So in order to get from here to here, we're gonna have to make some sort of adjustment other than thickness. And we don't jump to spin right away, right? The reason why is because if we add spin, it's not taking into account thickness, right? Or if we work off of thickness first, then we need to think about vertical access spin or side spin, sorry. So we don't necessarily need to run to side spin right away because it's kind of harder to control. It'll probably end up with some side spin, but I want to show you how I get to side spin. I just don't go to side spin. Like if I had someone here and I said, hit this circle and run into the teepee, they'd probably go, okay, I'm going to run side spin right away and kind of hit it low. And it's like, no, that's a little too missing some steps, right? In determining what's going on. So let's try to go towards this teepee with just hitting down lower. So before we were going high rolling ball, now let's go down to center and see if it adjusts it a little bit. Yeah, it starts bringing us up table a little bit. We're gonna have to hit lower than that because there wasn't enough dramatic change in the slide of the cue ball, let's say. So we're gonna drop it down a little. It's good to try it, but let's drop it a little lower. So we're gonna go like, 3/4 of the way down, 1/4 of the way up. See, and there we go. We get right across the edge of it. So see, I don't really even need spin. There's reasons why I would want spin, okay? But at this point, I'm just practicing, I'm just learning, and I'm just seeing, I don't need side spin, I just have a little bit of low, which is spin, of course, but it's vertical access spin. Just a little easier to predict. So let's try it again. Okay, and I'm noticing we're coming up a little bit light of the spot, right? Meaning shallow. Okay, this is a shallow angle. This is a wide angle. I'm not missing it to the wide side. I'm missing it to the shallow side. So how do I get my angle to open up here? I could hit it lower, I could hit it thicker, or I could hit it both lower and thicker. So let's try it, because I think if I hit it thicker and lower, I'm probably going to go down the wide side. So let's see. Not lower, but let's just hit a little thicker. Okay, we parked it right in. Okay, so that's fine. Now we have to weigh out. Now this is where we weigh out our factors, okay? And we say, what are our factors? And we say, well, our factor is where we enter the pocket thickness and vertical access. We went lower. Still haven't done any side spin yet. And so when we were coming up shallow with no side spin, I brought it to right in the middle of the teepee. Perfect shot with just hitting a little thicker. Okay, well now I need to weigh out, what do I want on this shot? Do I want to have to hit it into the facing? to get it there, or because I could miss it, right? If I hit the point, I could miss it. Or do I want to now think about side spin? Okay. And I think, well, I'm not super concerned about hitting the facing. It was pretty easy shot and it came in nice and easy. But let's go and say, all right, now's the time we think about side spin. We're going to go to the center of the ball, center of the pocket. We're going to think of the factor, center of the pocket, and a little bit of side spin to lengthen this angle out. And so the only other thing it's going to do is that came in really nice and soft on the last shot. So now I have to determine, is there a reason why I would want to have side spin? And the reason why would be I could hit the ball thinner, and therefore I could hit the ball softer. And the spin is going to help it run, so I could even hit it softer than just regular soft. With using the low, I'm going to have to hit it slightly harder than if I hit it higher with a little bit of left. It'll have more energy coming off the 5, and I'll be hitting it thinner and adjusting my angle this way by hitting it thinner, so it'll come easier into this position. It'll be slightly less power needed. So then I can hit it like that, soft, and just push it right to my spot, right? Ooh, I missed it by that much. Do you see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Is that I figured out all the factors, and I thought, okay, what's the simplest way to hit it? And honestly, it might be using a little spin, because then I can hit it just in the center of the pocket, makes the pocketing more simple, okay? I could hit the ball a little higher with spin, because I'm changing my speed, like I'm changing my angle, excuse me, not my angle, I'm changing my angle, and I'm changing my speed so I can hit softer, but I'm changing my angle so I can widen my angle without hitting it into the facing and hit it harder. So this is a shot that I might choose to hit this TP spot with a little, instead of just staying on the vertical axis, I just might wipe a little spin on it. So I stay low and then wipe it like that. And I keep hitting that half mark, which is great. It's not bad. So if I really want to go into the center of the TP, ooh, now I got to cheat because it dropped down a good ½ inch. Now I know that I can solve by either hitting it lower or hitting more side spin. And I think I like the amount of side spin I'm using because I like the speed and everything, and I don't want to be way out on the outside of it. I like I like the thickness because that makes the shot simpler to make. Okay, so I am going to just hit it a tiny bit lower and have that same wiping English. And now I'm going to wipe low and wipe left. And I'm going to lengthen it out, but it didn't lengthen out. Okay, let's try it again. It's possible that I had a micro, like, thin thing going, and I don't know, I'd have to look. So now I'm going to try to get in this thing. I'm going to go low, wipe it, and I'm going to go just in the center. Okay, and we got it to move over a little tiny bit. Now we'll do one more. We're trying to move it over to this angle here, and we're going to hit a little lower instead of more left. Okay, we're going to hit it lower. There we go. And now we brought it over to the right side of that TP, which is fine. So I can kind of decide, right, what I want to do to get this dialed. But the main thing is I want factors that are going to make the shot the most simple, okay? So if I hit a high ball with outside and I just say, okay, it's 11 o'clock all day, it's like I can hit through there, but see the speed that I'm dealing with? that's not very accurate. If I'm really trying to dive underneath the teepee, it's hard with a high ball and just lulls 11 o'clock, left English, high ball, let's just go, because it has so much energy on the ball that, and not factoring in where it's hitting in the pocket, and just going to speed right away, it's harder to pot the ball. I'll send them from Europe. So it just adds more complications that I don't want, right? So all I'm trying to say, it's hard to say this because you could sit there and listen to me and be like, this is freaking complicated, bro. Like, there's factors and it's complicated, but what I'm saying is I understand it's complicated, but when I'm training and watching people when I'm playing and seeing it, it's like I'm always trying to strip the pieces off the car. Okay, people have too many pieces on the car, and so for me, hitting this shot in here like this with a bunch of spin like this, like that shot is a nice shot. It's a great result. It's the best result I had so far, but it's too hard for someone to execute that's a beginner to intermediate player. And if you don't know the factors why, like if we don't take the time to determine the factors, you could disagree with the factors. You could say, well, I would hit it this way or that way. Why do I think you are? You guys are like the most supportive people in the world. I get in these. I think I focus on like 5 or 10% of the audience, and I have to try to prove my point. And so sorry, it's a thing, right? I don't know why I'm doing it, but what I'm saying is, these factors and details are super important. And basically what my premise is that the less factors, kind of the better for pocketing the ball, for understanding what's going to happen. It's the less, that would be sensible, right? The less factors you have, the less things that you need to account for, and the less things that can go wrong. So if we could strip this thing down to just a few simple factors, like being on the vertical axis and just being a whisper of spin, like it's a lot easier to execute, because there's less factors, meaning like spin is a major factor on the shot, in the pocketing of the shot, in the reaction of the shot, in the speed of the shot, in the geometry of the shot. Like I'm sitting there saying, strip this thing down and just find the simplest amount of everything, meaning get as close to the center axis in the inside of the cue ball as you can and solve the shot with that shot. Because technically it's the least amount of factors. Okay, we like it. And see, all we need to do here to move it over to this point is hit it lower or hit a little more English. So I'm not going with, I like the amount of spin I'm getting. I just need to hit it, side spin. I just need to hit a little lower. Let's watch. Watch this. There it is. See, we start creeping up towards the center of the teepee by just doing that. And it's very quiet. It's very simple, very repeatable. And I'm hitting it like right at the bottom of the cue ball. Not all the way at the bottom, but like that. Okay, that was pretty thick, pretty low, and some spin and all those factors. The thickness, everything the thickness moved it out this direction. The thickness slowed the cue ball down, which didn't go into the teepee. And that was cool. So we're shooting the 4 one more time. And we're saying, okay, on that last shot, I was a little too thick. I like the low, I like the spin. I was just a little too thick, because if I hit a little bit in the center of the pocket, I should be okay. Close. Now I adjusted too much. I didn't go low enough. So, because I still like that side spin. Daddy likes it. I don't like calling myself daddy. Now I just do it to be silly. Okay, low, low, spin, a little bit of spin. There we go. There we go. Pretty good. So that's it. It's this little combination of like solving a shot with the physics and geometry, and biomechanically, it's a little interesting. Some people are not comfortable hitting the ball this soft, this low, and they don't really understand like how it's like a wiping, stunny, rolly kind of shot. It's not, it's funny because, and the other thing is gearing. I want this cue ball, if I'm going to use English, even if it's towards center, I want the cue ball to be geared, like spinning. See how it spins before it gets there? You can see the cue ball spinning. Yeah, that's another thing we want to watch are the dots in the cue ball, okay? So if you're hitting this shot and it's coming out on this side, you want to be careful. You're probably hitting it too high. Or you're not hitting it with any spin, right? So what happens if I really spin it? See that? Then I can hit it soft and get to the other side of it. But you could see the cue ball like twisting and spinning while it got there and kind of gearing off the rail. So that's a little bit of a tricky shot to hit under pressure and with table conditions, because that's a really thin, whippy, cue ball, spinny thing. So the reason why I wouldn't want to hit that shot to there is because this is a lot more solid to just hit that shot. It's not going to skid, it's not going to twist, it's not going to throw out, it's not going to, whiff and masse out of the shot, especially if you don't have a carbon shaft, or you have a bad carbon shaft, because there are ones that are bad. But like you could like hit and it could masse out. So I'll try to masse it out and hit it too thin. Yeah, like that. It could start looking like that. It's like you hit a little masse shot and you whiff it. So who wants to hit that shot as an intermediate or beginner play under pressure? We don't want to do that. So we want to be able to hit it a little bit harder, a little bit thicker, so then we can just drop the tip down, a little thicker, a little harder, just a wipe of English, and then we go wide on the shot. But the thing that's kind of cool that I like is my grouping is tight, and that's okay. Yeah, I like my grouping. I'm not blasting through. I'm just barely dying into the TP. Try it again. Okay, there, I ran through a little bit, but I could do this all day. I just think it's fun. So this was a shot that I had on my intermediate training video. I don't even know, it'll come out before this one. But this is a little follow-up, and it's just about making sure that we figure out all the factors, and we want to strip this car down to its useful components. We don't need a bunch of, I'm trying to think, there's probably a movie where they do that. They just walk in and start stripping stuff off the car, and racing movies. I don't remember what it was. I'd say Days of Thunder, but I don't know about that. Maybe it was Lightning McQueen. Maybe it was Cars. Just kidding. I was going to say I'm going to be here till I get in the center, and that's it right there. I wanted to hit that before I was done. So, okay, so more factors equal more problems, and I don't know. I guess all I'm trying to say is this is how I determine the factors on a shot, and I'm always trying to determine the simplest way to make it happen. And if I'm going to use vertical access spin or side spin, it's going to be for a very specific reason. If I want to hit this very soft and I want to just float in quiet, then I'll probably maybe use a little more spin to speed the cue ball up, so I can hit the cue ball a little bit thinner too, and all that. And if I'm on the vertical axis, the lower I hit it, the slower it comes in. So it's yeah, that's it. So a lot of these factors I just protect when I'm playing position. So if I'm playing position, all right, and I have a zone, we talk about zones, and there's a zone I'm playing to, let's say, and And if I go like there's a, let's see, I'm playing to here, and I'm playing to here, right? We're playing 8-ball. Right? And I got this cut, and I want to play to this zone, and I for sure don't want to come racing through. So my zone is like here and maybe a little short. So if I'm going to hit this shot and I don't want to race through, well, I'm not going to have a bunch of outside English on it, and I'm going to be hitting it a little bit low with a little thicker, and I'm going to add the factors that are going to keep it going slow. And I'm going to air to this side of the zone, just like that, right? And that's how I solve that shot, because I do not want, because here I can just push forward, angle, push forward. See, if I don't really think about all the factors when I'm training and practicing and doing this stuff, and I just say lulls, I'm going to hit it here because I don't really care about angles. I'm going to hit it here. Well, and then I hit this shot. Oh, I go spin first, and then I don't pay attention, and I hit it thin. Well, now here's my cue ball control, and it's like, this is crazy, because if I'm an intermediate player, this is how it starts looking, right? Of course I get lucky. I can't even hit a bad shot. What is my problem? Okay. So bad. Okay. Oh, there you go. Now you made it tough. Now we're putting some pressure on me. Oh, too hard. Okay, let's hit it again. Where was I here? I had a bunch of stuff going through my head. Okay, let's do it again. Smooth. Slow, smooth. Smooth is fast. Look at me. I'm using my military knowledge from reading books. See there, that'll go. You gotta hit the right speed. Pocket speed, my boy. Okay, that's it. I hope this was useful. Less factors, more success. Okay, I love you guys. Bye. See ya.